popping off, boys.
Awesome. That was a fun one. It was definitely slower than before, but you gotta have slow ones to balance out the fast ones, you know?
Yes. I do enjoy this. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Awesome.
Old Fig, I'll handle
Yep.
it.
I got some prep to do thanks to Wurzag and Reynold setting it the other direction. That's okay though, because I didn't really prep the other way yet.
Does any of my belongings smell like piss?
I didn't figure they did. I figured you went after just him, but
No, I went after just Reynold. I mean, me and Ryan were alone for a while, so I get that.
like I said, for all you know, it could have been Wurzag.
Could have been
That's
Wurzag.
usually the end you're in.
Yeah.
Been Sir
But
Everard.
it didn't make sense. I knew I sat there and I was like, the vampire hunter. The vampire hunter would be the one to stop me.
Could have been everyone. Everyone just had a meeting and was like, okay, he's passed out.
So what I was going to do was I was going to do a little bit of an experiment. I was going to coat my scalpel with the vampire blood and then shank it into his chest. And then it
comes back as a vampire.
And run for my life, yes. And run.
Is the DM prepared for an instance where the a character inadvertently kills the entire town?
That would be awesome.
That would be quite the story.
It goes from, oh, why won't the grass grow, to, oh, it's a rake vampire and everyone's gonna die.
It's a rake vampire, everyone's gonna die.
That would be crazy. I never even thought of that. Like
Rake vampire, TPK. We start a new story on the other side of Ryan's world, and then it all leads up to
vampire resistance.
Yeah, it's like magic is allowed, but it's ruled by a rake vampire. Dago Marcus is gonna the next time he talks to his sister is gonna be like, man, that group of the group of people that came through, they let know you. You know, they're
kind of degenerates.
They throw their stuff out the window, and one paid me for some cheap stuff, and I don't even know where that went. And the lock is all messed up. It was crazy. And she'd be like, "What? They're wonderful.
They were wonderful.
They saved our city and gave me 50 gold pieces. What do you mean? Saved my daughter."
Cool.
Good session, Ryan.
Yeah, this was
Fantastic session.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a pretty fun RP session.
I hope the session was a good glimpse into what I can think of with that.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
I wanted to prepare you for the stupid shit I'm gonna be thinking of now.
Yeah. Now you can vertically ascend on the walls.
Yep.
Alright,
Yeah, what
joining the other Discord. Goodbye, Richard. Goodbye, Tristan.
Good night.
Alright, gentlemen.
You have very
See you
good
guys in a moment.
night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed. Yeah, we'll actually, before you all go, where would you like to go? East, west, or north? That way I can start preparing.
I'm very interested in what's east.
East does sound nice, but I also don't kind of want to ditch our only major magical friend we have.
I mean, we have a Fig.
It's true.
Are we? So, well, my first question is: are we not staying in the town to solve its problems? I mean, theoretically, we don't know that it's all we can do here. You know,
I would like to do a better investigation around those tunnels.
If there's just nothing there, then I mean,
yeah, there's not much.
You went 50 feet and you didn't see any more, but it still went on.
I'll be straight with you. There's not much else you can glean from right now.
Okay.
Because I noticed that I understand the reason why you guys are searching, because you are genuinely. Oh my god, I can't speak.
Interested.
You are genuinely interested, and you think there is something going on. I don't want us to keep going because I don't want you guys to think you're just grasping at straws. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel
we
the part that I failed.
Say we stuck around for a couple days, found nothing, and then decided to move on.
Yeah.
Which things brings me to my next question: is I mean, if Celsius went west, then we should go west. However, it's just a matter of me and Hunter don't know that. So
absolutely.
That is also true.
And
Yeah.
Sir Everard
I'm-
we'll say Sir Everard was probably with us, so he doesn't know either.
Yeah.
It's just you and
If you guys want,
dog.
you three can RP that again if you want to make a final decision for the group.
We can do that in the morning. Figure that
I
out.
mean it just comes down to like in span of 2 days, does Krell say where Celsius went?
That's up to you, Krell. Like,
It's entirely up to
I
Krell.
just-
I mean,
I want to get an answer now so I can begin preparing for 2 weeks from now.
Right.
so whatever answer that you get, it's going to come from Tristan.
Krell is not going to say. He's going to be adamant that what Wurzag said is what Wurzag heard.
There's no wrong answer here. I'm just letting you know. There's no
Yeah.
wrong answer.
Whole thing's going to kill you.
I know.
The campaign ends. It's like, yay, we're the heroes. And then it's going to be a fight between Old Fig and Krell.
That would actually be
ready.
insane.
I'm
Little 20
ready.
fight.
Just one final battle.
And it's
Bring
like,
it.
I mean, does Reynolds pick a side?
I hated
Does
you since
Wurzag pick a
day
side?
one. I
It's like, do we just all kill
Yeah.
Krell, or do we like? Are some people against Old Fig, some people against Krell? Like,
I love Old Fig. Old Fig's great.
I think legitimately everybody hates Krell except Wurzag.
yeah. Well, but that's the
Don't hate
thing.
it.
Like, I feel like me and
I don't
Wurzag
hate
are
Krell.
like a goblin bond, and if I'm like, we got to kill this guy, he's bad. He'd be like, oh, he's bad.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's bad.
hate Krell.
I know you don't. I know.
I just think he's someone easy to outwit.
He is sketchy as well.
Mhm.
I just want to hang out with Celsius.
I get it. You want to hang out with Celsius. Krell doesn't.
I say we go east. I have
mean,
business
if
north,
Celsius
but
is
I don't
east, then
think
we're
I
going
can
east.
convince the party
No.
yet to go north.
You still have the compass
I mean,
that's attuned to the location of the hideout.
Yeah,
Just a
we
reminder.
have that.
Yeah.
You have that.
I guess
I'm just
eventually
saying,
Celsius will just be
east.
sitting in wherever it was. We'll just be sitting in Leaside. We'll be like, oh well, I guess they're not coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or he just
So
sits
if
there and it's like we come through Leaside at level 18 and he's like, dude,
What the fuck?
I'm still here.
yeah,
We could go
True.
east to Pav, my hometown.
indeed.
Well, Galen's hometown.
He's
be
in
closer
Celsius
to
is east,
Detroit.
we're going east, so
Well, you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
believe me.
I don't think I can convince anyone to go north. And
I did walk up to Richard and I was like, okay, he went
He
north.
did. He did.
so yeah, I mean if you want to tell us that we go north, then we go north. I mean
Hmm.
I'm just saying you didn't believe the second thing I said. So do you tell anyone else?
but I don't believe anything you're gonna say. So,
So
but
what
if
if
I don't
I
have
said west? Not saying I am, but what if I said it?
that's the thing. Like yeah.
Hey, Hunter, get Juice back in here.
Juice
But
back
if
in
that's
here?
all I have to go off
Yeah.
of, I mean, ultimately, whatever
Alright.
group what decision we come to of this is the direction that Celsius is the direction we're going to go.
Well, I mean, Wurzag did straight up say east, and I think Wurzag as a character believes he went east. Krell knows what he knows, and you guys know what Krell knows. Krell's just being a dick.
Right? It's just like I just want to prepare the next session.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Wurzag, you're the final authority on which direction we go. West, north, or east. What would Wurzag say?
So we were originally traveling north, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. And then
We
after
originally
news
traveled
of
at northwest, mostly
yeah,
west.
northwest, you're going to head to Aston after Holden. But because of what happened, you guys want to steer clear of this route. So Celsius made the quick change to go to Lee side and then go up north. So, Wurzag, since you were
Where's
The
that
one
got
who
confused and said east, so I guess we're
Okay.
going east.
okay, so is that your final decision?
Yeah.
Okay, then you guys are going east, unless anyone objects.
All right.
We are
Okay.
So
going
what's
Alright, my
east
friend,
on the
focus.
map?
to my home.
A bunch of foothills and his hometown.
Whose
And-
hometown?
Galen's. Krell's,
Krell.
the body of Krell. Galen's hometown is there, and we can have some fun there. I have criminal contacts there. And
Yes.
Galen does.
Well, it's now settled.
bad.
There we go. You guys are going east.
Fine.
Alrighty.
I didn't even realize Pav was that way. I just looked at the world map. This works out awesome.
Yeah.
Not a return. All right. Peace out, gentlemen. Thank you,
All right,
Ryan.
thank you guys.
See ya. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for coming back, Juice.
Yes.
To assist.
Good night.
I hope Krell wasn't
All
too much of a
right.
dick tonight.
No, he's
I think you were playing him perfectly.
Sweet.
I think everyone was vibing. Like, I've definitely noticed people are stealing to their roles. Like, Old Fig, you're kind of like the leader of the party. You're making the big decisions a lot of the time.
matriarch.
Wurzag, what's archetype is he? He's kind of like definitely a big time helper. He doesn't
Like
really.
the secretly smart and helpful comic.
Oh, I
relief.
know. It's
Yeah.
insane. I love
Yeah.
that guy. I love Wurzag.
Krell is definitely the roguish type. More off by himself. Useful in combat.
I feel
Trevor is
like
the jock.
I
And
feel like
Raynald is kind of the same way, just like on a different spectrum.
yeah. I feel like Raynald, in at least role playing, we kind of fill the same niche. The edgy fucking type.
Yeah.
Where
Not like repeating each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't seem to do the exact same edgy shit either. Then in combat, he seems to be more. He seems to be much more of a damaging striker, where I'm more of a utility caster.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I have the propensity to switch into melee combat very easily, but it's whatever.
Yeah. You actually like debuff because of Hex.
Yeah,
Like he just has Hunter's Mark, which is more like a damage buff for him.
yeah.
But he can't alter a stat saving throw like you can.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like that's fine because I have my damage, he has his damage. Everyone has their
absolutely.
own kinds of damage as well, and I've just kind of taken on the utility shit. I mean, Richard, you're also utility in different ways, though. You definitely have. You probably have more. You're more.
I flex
specialized
between
in
moderate,
casting.
consistent damage and just straight up utility that breaks games.
The thing with mine is if I want to flex into damage, it takes like a whole turn or two of setup for me to just turn into a fucking glass cannon. And then again, I also kind of function as an off tank if for some reason the tanks go down, because I mean I just have a astronomical health pool as long as I'm keeping false life applied.
I've like we were talking with Hunter earlier, where he asked me to heal him, and I was like, I have no capacity to heal anybody.
Yeah. Same with me. I can't heal shit.
It's literally just Wurzag.
I think if I tried to heal someone, I'd kill them.
I could make them run away very fast.
Mm-hmm. So Ryan, I'm curious.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you could say no, but if I did have the vampire blood on me and I did that to the fucking rake, would it have turned into a vampire?
I'm gonna say no because it was dead.
Yeah.
Well, also too, it's not like because it's not like a humanoid.
Actually,
True, but it was alive.
I'll be honest. I'll like with the way vampirism works in my world, it's a curse.
Mhm.
And like I probably would have rolled a dice to see if it actually turned, just to see what the
Just to
dice
see?
would think. Yeah. So if we
Yeah.
roll like a certain number, I'd be like, okay, it's gonna turn. You're gonna have to fight it.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's probably gonna not go well.
My original idea was, everything you've told me about vampirism, like whenever you first turn into a vampire, you're very weak.
Mhm.
But like also you're also you're a vampire, so if I attacked a vampire, it wouldn't necessarily die. So I was like, I can do this, turn it into a vampire, knock it down, and then run. And just watch my
Yeah.
experiment go fucking wild.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you probably just could have removed the limbs and then just gave it the blood and then like watch this lady and be helpless.
And then the only reason or way I thought it could work was by pretty much taking the scalpel and stabbing it as close as I could to the heart.
Yeah.
Because that might, like, in that sense, it might restart the heart, but I don't know. it was dead for a few hours at that point. So.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to a point. I guess we kind of did it with. I mean, we're still low level when we did it, but with Vargas, excited to get to a point where it's like we're magic users fighting magic users.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like you want to get into that magic combat again?
Because I went ahead when I leveled up, I picked counterspell.
Mhm.
So I'm just kind of
yes,
sitting here
yes.
like, maybe I should have probably, if I thought it through, probably should have waited on that, just because like we're not going to fight any magic users theoretically, just based on what I'm looking at and what we've fought so far and all that kind of stuff. But,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: I think it's coming sooner rather than later for you.
Good. Yeah.
Because I have this phase 2 for levels 5 through 10. I haven't mapped out what we're gonna do. The next slope, I'll shut up. Figure it out.
Level 5 by the beginning of next session, right?
Level
It'll
5
be level
right now?
6 soon enough.
Okay.
We're level 5 right now.
Yeah.
You still trying to end it by the end of the year?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It depends on how fast we get through it. Like if we have more sessions, it really just depends. I would like to end it by the end of the year because like today I was thinking about like how I continue this campaign, like how would campaign 2 look and what would we do? Like would we do a whole new world? I thought about that idea, like starting fresh with a different idea and like doing more of an adventure type or like somehow continuing my world in a way. And I did explore a really interesting idea for the end of this campaign, which is I can't say it. I can't say it, but it's definitely interesting. And I think if I were to end this campaign in that way, it would make the next campaign, I think, even better because of reasons. That's all I could say.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the cool shit about, like, if you make a campaign 2, it doesn't necessarily, like, what I like about it is it doesn't necessarily have to be, like, 1,000 years in the future or shit. It could legitimately be the next day, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and I was thinking, like, when this campaign reaches its climactic conclusion, like, obviously, at the end of a campaign, the players either win or they lose.
mm-hmm.
And, like, I'm kind of hoping you lose because then I can then propel the narrative, and I think it would be a more interesting setup for campaign 2 than like a fresh time shift or you know what I'm saying.
Because
also, like you look at it too, it's like if we win, and it's like okay, cool, you've got like 6 notable level 20 characters that live in your world, so it's like we're fixing problems, and it's like, well, if we're fixing these problems, then why aren't those people handling those problems?
Yeah, exactly. Like
confident thing with Matt Mercer helps a lot of just
Mm-hmm.
like not having to worry about that because it's like, okay, well, it's the other side of the world,
Yeah. Yeah, like by the time this campaign
2 for them was a lot smaller too. It was a much smaller scale in terms of baddies.
Yeah.
Or specific like religious stuff rather than like.
Yeah, like for the end of this campaign, you guys will be level 20. You will be legendary figures. Like if you go away,
especially like if we like make magic legal again.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is theoretically most of our goals.
Yeah. I mean, even like if you achieve that goal before this moment I have planned, then you already go down in history.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say you fail, like I guess it's the idea, like a healthy TPK, where the party dies in a way that makes sense, in a way that's completely fair to the players and the DM. The DM doesn't hold their punches. The players maybe got in over their heads or they didn't think something clearly, but they can continue with a new set of characters, and they experience like the legends of the previous characters in the new campaign. Like,
yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like they hear their feats. They, maybe meet people that they've interacted with, and it's like you're experiencing the legend again. That was once you.
theoretically, I don't have much time. Like, once the campaign ends, my character's got a good, like, 6 years tops, probably, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say, you know, she's magic, so she's got, like, extra longevity in life or whatever, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subclass into rogue for 15 levels. Not rogue, monk for 15 levels.
Oh,
you can live forever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm level 5 wizard. Just
Then 15 more levels of monk. Bazinga.
you can still die as a 15.
Well, yeah. But
it's like
you
a
can,
die of old age and stuff.
No. They monks. I think it's either at 15th level or 12th level they stop aging.
I agree, but it's not. You can still die.
Well, yeah, you can still die, but they stop aging.
No, I mean like from old age, or like die from. Let me see. Let me get there. Read it.
Oh, I have to ask Hunter if you even read the journal for the Count Tuscany. That's actually huge. I think you would enjoy reading that. Old Fig.
You can still die of old age. It's just that your key sustains you, so you suffer none of the frailty of old age. So you can't be aged magically. You can still die of old age. However, in addition, you no longer need food or water.
Oh.
I would theoretically still die around the same time, probably a little later. Obviously, goblins are short-lived species, so but I would still die of old age. I just wouldn't. I would actually not be an old fig. I would be like a spry fig until I died.
See. Okay, yeah, I just read it. I didn't realize I actually had that part. I thought they just became fucking immortal. Krell makes it to 20 after the campaign, and he survives it. He's probably gonna go fucking far away from the party and just be evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll do his evil stuff. I mean, at level 20, he'll be fucking basically a god. You guys would be too. That's why he would avoid you. Level 20
like
characters
theory,
are not to be fucked with.
You look at it too, it's like I mean, in theory, obviously I don't know anything about the four brothers, but it's like, hypothetically, they're level 20, they're all level 20 wizards or whatever. And it's like, at that point, I mean, it's kind of what happened is that theoretically, we don't know anything, but they all kind of turned on each other, is the working theory that we have. They all kind of turned on each other, and that's why, like, the one is in charge, one is missing, one is allegedly dead, when, all that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing happening with us. It's like, we got to the gut, we're in charge. I don't know. I don't think necessarily that level 20 characters are basically gods.
Yeah. The reason I say is just the fact that 9th level spells, anyone that's a 9th level spellcaster really can fuck with any fight.
Yeah, I mean, well, druids, I mean, they make a storm that is like miles big, or mile big, or something like that, like stuff like that. And
then, like, in addition, they can also fucking basically become immortal. Not necessarily immortal, but I mean, like, in combat immortal. Fucking constantly wild shaping into an earth elemental. And never dying in the earth element because they can wild shape an unlimited amount of times as a bonus action. And an earth elemental has, I think, 200 hit points. So you'll never get to their actual health pool. They'll always, the moment that you turn them into their health pool, they'll switch to an earth elemental again and then beat the shit out.
I think a lot of it depends. Well, a lot of it too depends on like how many enemies they're facing and how strong those enemies are.
Yeah. Yeah. Druids, I think, legitimately, if you go with any class from 1 to 20, I think legitimately druids are the most powerful at level 20.
Yeah, druids are one of my favorite. Druids and monks are my two favorite, and then
I think cleric would be the second most powerful, or wizard. It's very close between the two of them.
Clerics are tricky because it's like, for the most part, clerics are gonna like help others, but it's like, in theory, if a cleric was just healing itself, then yeah,
or like went war domain or something that makes them less support, more attack, tanky.
Selfish cleric is, but most clerics are not selfish, so they're more likely to lay down their life too.
Yeah.
Well, too.
The cool thing about clerics is in their lore, like what it says in the player's handbook. is the main difference between a paladin and a cleric is a paladin devotes his life to the god, where a cleric is chosen by the god. Yeah. So, like, you could say, like, most clerics would be, you know, very, very, like, forthcoming and giving, mainly because the god can just take that power away from them immediately whenever they wanted to. But paladins have to be that way, or at least have to follow the tenets of their god, where some clerics may be chosen by a fucking super evil god and just be like, sweet.
What are you thinking for your? Thinking next week we're going to do the fight against the
Aboleth. Yeah, we'll do the fight against the Aboleth next week, and
Orcs can't wait to get into a good fight.
I'm excited to do that fight.
And earlier in the week when you had said the thing about the one shot, was that a one shot for that series of one shots you were talking about? Or
Yeah, for the series of one shots. The idea is, it's still in the works. I'd have to make some custom creatures for it, or see if I can find them online. I know the artwork I'd be using, but that being said, the idea I want to do it, but for your characters, I don't know if it would be right to do it now or way later. And then again, I could just do it as almost like a flashback, and then, you know, have Eidos fucking make or be like, oh yeah, I need this thing, and then it would be a flashback to a different time, and he'd get the thing, and then it would explain blah blah blah. I think it would be cooler if I could fit it into the main story somehow, plot wise, like with your characters, you know, since you're already doing one shots, one shot after one shot, one after one shot. And you guys were gonna go down to the edge of a furnace, right? Where the wall is, the magic wall. Thought so. Yeah.
Yes. No. Yeah, I got you now. I didn't know what you were saying a second ago, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
we're traveling. If this is like Belko, and there's like the mountains above Belko, and you can go around through, I think, a desert, or just straight down south past the magic wall. We're going down south past the magic wall.
Yeah, because Belko's nestled in the desert side of those mountains. So yeah, and then on the other side of those mountains is more like hill, like towards the north of that. It's very very foresty and lush, and as you get south and south and south, it becomes more hilly and plains. You know, not many trees.
Yeah, once we get to Belko, you have to find a way to force us towards my place.
I got you. I know what we're going to do with that stuff.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain you will be the one I'm going to have, like, in that after you guys get to Belko and we do that thing, and then we do like 4 or 5 sessions with that evil campaign and bring them into that. I think you're going to be playing the main character.
Okay.
Yeah. But
certainly, I could do that.
Yeah, I'll send you the reference material.
Tell me again. So the way we want to do this is you're gonna have the little mini bad campaign where we're playing predefined characters. Is that correct?
Yeah, you guys will be playing. Everyone will be playing characters except for you. You'll be more so playing like a stat block provided, because the character isn't going to be bound to classes. He's going to use a different system for stuff, and he'll probably. I'm thinking he's going to have a complexity to his stat block a little bit higher than that of Experiment 1C's, which is the most complex fucking stat block I've created.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys will start out with this character. I'll be working closely with you just so that way you know what your character knows and you know what his goals are and stuff. And then obviously everyone else will kind of be I need to get them into a. They need to play someone that would be willing to work with someone with a dirtbag like your character.
Okay.
an asshole and fucking monster of a person. But I mean,
Sounds
that
good to
may
me.
direction
not.
that
Huh?
I've been playing around, not recently, but I was playing around with a character.
Hmm.
I think that mine is, like it's very evil. Probably, I've been looking towards either. It's probably sort of like religious based, so probably either a paladin or a cleric. Right now, it's a paladin.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So just evil.
Evil characters can be very fun. I mean, and I love Krell. But yeah, let me send you the reference stuff.
Like, Krell's good. Krell wouldn't. I don't think Krell would necessarily work well in your game, Tristan.
Oh no,
What I mean, like with
I don't think he would.
like with with Gurukin and Works and all them, I don't think he would work out well. But like,
Oh yeah,
The
everyone
team
in my
that-
game is like superheroes. They're all fucking heroes.
Yeah.
Where in this game, everyone's kind of like, there's this shitty thing going on. Let's stop it. Let's.
everyone's a lot grayer in Ryan's game too.
Yeah.
Did anyone happen to read the Count's diary?
No, is it still all open?
Yeah.
I won't read it now, but I will.
Yeah,
Where is it under?
Journals.
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 Literature?
Yeah.
Journals. Diary.
This has some big brain knowledge for campaign.
I've been keeping a note of everything since I can't get in here. Read it,
Would you
but-
want me to send it to you through Discord if that makes it easier for you?
I already copy and pasted it.
Oh, there you go.
Ryan, I sent you a video
Sure.
that helps kind of understand.
And when I copy and
the
paste it into the note, I can change any like spelling errors.
Awesome. You're my editor.
So I'm curious, if you close the game now and I have the Count's diary open, will I still be able to scroll through it as long as I keep it open?
Say that again. Sorry.
I think so. I think when he pops out, it just pops out.
Okay. So it's like this is already preloaded to my computer. I can just read it.
I can copy and paste it for you if you want.
I would like that, mainly because I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So Darth Maul survived. Interesting.
Yes. Darth Maul did survive.
Yeah. Short answer: yes.
Yes. He had
That's
a
crazy.
crazy story arc in the fucking Clone Wars, dude. And it finally gets completed in Rebels.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you want to watch like his whole fucking story, go to if you aren't really interested in Clone Wars, which there are some amazing arcs in the Clone Wars series, but if you aren't interested, I think you could start halfway through season 4, which is where Savage Opress is added into the show, and he's Darth Maul's brother.
Okay.
And it shows him and what's going on with Count Dooku, Asajj Ventress, and the Night Sisters, and then finally he snaps and goes back to the Night Sisters, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, we have the problem of the Sith, but we know someone that can help you. And they're like looking through a crystal ball, and it shows Darth Maul's shattered face and shit. So like through the crystal ball, and then he goes out and finds Darth Maul, and he's fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Hmm.
I do like the vibe of this. I've been wanting to play a character that's kind of like, well, this is like, so like recently I've been playing with the idea of like my next character is going to be like, well, I won't say it. I'm going to keep it a surprise. But I do like this character concept of like falling from goodness to being evil, maybe like going back to goodness again.
Hmm. See, Darth Maul with his whole concept was he's just a fucking asshole. Like, he starts out as a Sith Lord. And his whole, like, from the comics and shit, because I'm fucking so into his story. From the comics and shit, Darth Maul seemed to, like, Darth Sidious seemed to actually care about Darth Maul, almost to the point where he kind of thought of him as a son.
Mm.
And then he died to Obi-Wan. And whenever he died, he fucking he was cut in half, fell into a pit, And fucking everyone thought he was dead, even Sidious. And Sidious was like, well, I'm going to replace him.
Right.
I have to have an apprentice. So he went and found Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Halfway through I think on the second year of the Clone Wars, like canonically, I think the Clone Wars takes place over 3 or 4 years. I can't remember. But on the second year of the Clone Wars, he reappears and he just starts wreaking havoc for one singular purpose, and that is to get Obi-Wan Kenobi's attention so he can kill him. The first time he finds Kenobi, he ambushes him. Or no, he actually sends. He doesn't find Kenobi. He sends a message to the Jedi from an outer world like system, like way out on the edge of the galaxy. And he's like, "Hey, I am going to kill everyone in this fucking town until Kenobi shows up. And if anyone else shows up, I'll kill them too."
Right.
And they're like, "Okay," and they're like, "We can't send Kenobi alone." And he's like, "No, I'll be fine. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I'll fucking kill the guy." And he goes out there, and he gets jumped by Savage Opress as well as Darth Maul, and Kenobi and Anakin fought Savage together and got their ass kicked. So Kenobi has like no fucking chance against Savage. And also, it's heavily implied throughout the lore that the only reason Kenobi beat Maul in episode 1 was because the fact that Maul was gloating. Maul sucks at closing duels. That is his hubris. He gets people to the point where he has utterly defeated them, and then all he wants to do is dominate them and just show them how worthless they are. And then fucking...
That was his downfall.
Yeah, that was his downfall, at least in episode 1. And then fucking, I think it gets him like 3 or 4 times in the Clone Wars. And then finally he, like in Rebels, his story is amazing, so I won't spoil it. But in Rebels, his story gets the rest, gets everything that it needed, and honestly, it's a fucking perfect ending. And like, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, you don't care about me spoiling it, I'll fucking tell you, because it's fucking magical how fucking beautiful they did the end. But
yeah,
I highly recommend, if anything, watch every episode with Darth Maul or pertaining to Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, and then watch every episode of Rebels with Darth Maul, because it's fucking awesome. Every time he's on screen, he steals the fucking show. Because the guy,
Darth fucking Maul.
Yeah, the guy that does his voice is amazing. And it's did you ever play the Force Unleashed video games?
No, I did not.
Well, the guy originally started working with Star Wars by voicing the main character of those games. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really fucking good shit.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start working on his stat block soon. There's a few things I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'll keep watching this video and try and get like insights to how he would be played.
Yeah, and I can help you with his mental state and shit, at least in the beginning, because I mean, obviously in that video you see that he's kind of insane at certain points.
Yeah.
You'd probably start out in the first session very unhinged and fucking broken
on a whim,
kind of coming back to your mentality.
Yeah.
Because
that's like fun.
Yeah, because dude, whenever Savage finds Darth Maul, fucking cut in half, Darth Maul has created spider legs, and he's like on a trash planet. And he's just walking around, hunched over, fucking constantly talking to himself. And Savage is like, "What happened to you?" And he just keeps saying little things underneath his fucking voice. And then and then he looks at Maul's legs. He's like, "What happened to your legs?" And he's like, "He took them from me. He took them." And he starts freaking out, and finally it's starting to make some sense.
Yeah,
and
all his rage towards Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-hmm. And like final note in Star Wars, one of the biggest things with the Sith, and it makes sense when you think about it, is every Sith has survived death dealing blows, Maul getting cut in half, Anakin being burned alive and all of his limbs being cut off, and apparently Palpatine falling into a pit and exploding into a mess of energy.
Yeah.
All of them have survived by entering a state that I don't think they ever named it, but it's basically a state where you find a singular hatred and you focus on it. And the hatred of that fucking one thing keeps you alive in the Force. Maul's was Kenobi, Anakin's was Kenobi, and fucking I guess Sidious's was Luke or Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sidious. Oh man, I can't believe they brought him back.
Yeah, they. I'd be fine with them bringing him back, but they just fucked it up.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't know. The movie was bad. I liked it. It was entertaining, but
yeah.
Then they were like pickled Snokes, and you're like, oh. Then you're like, oh well, fucking Sidious did this and that, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, here we thought Snoke was gonna be some big bad guy, and then he just gets freaking dusted in this second movie.
Yeah, and then they literally the very next movie show him pickled up and like fucking 6 of them. It's like what? It's like
literally just a clone. How worthless.
Yeah, I guess recently, because it wasn't George Lucas's idea to bring Darth Maul back.
Right.
It was the guy who wrote what's it called? The Clone Wars, and he asked George Lucas, and George Lucas was like, yeah, do it. Fucking makes sense. Anakin was cut up, and he survived, so why wouldn't Darth Maul? And so that being said, like, the Clone Wars, it got to season 6 before Disney bought them, and then canceled the production of season 7. Yeah, and then the entire fan base was like, no, bring it back. And fucking finally, 6 years down the road, they were like, okay, we're bringing back Clone Wars. That being said, I don't even remember where I was going with it. Yeah, now I remember. So recently it came out with that George Lucas had, I mean, obviously it was mentioned in a lot of interviews prior to this, but never like what it was. George Lucas had created a outline for Disney to go off of for the sequel trilogy. He said he was like, I think this will provide the best story. I think this will make the fans happy, every one of them, and it will give them all hope. And that's his whole thing. He's like, it's like you can make these movies dreadful and awful and terrible, like from a tone perspective, but there just needs to be hope for kids. That's George Lucas's whole spiel. And what he ended up doing was those finally came out, like what his blueprints were, because Disney took that and threw it in the trash, pretty much. They were like, we aren't fucking doing that. We're writing our own story. And everything that was written by you is non-canon unless it's a story or the Clone Wars. But apparently Darth Maul was supposed to be the main bad guy of that whole series.
Oh, that'd been fucking dope.
Yeah, it would have been
way better.
3 more movies with Darth Maul with the continued story building that was made from him with the Clone Wars. But now it's impossible because what Disney did.
Yeah.
But
because they wanted to go a whole different route and just mess it all up.
To be fair, they did do a very good job with the end of his story. I really do think the end of Darth Maul's story is fucking beautiful. But
probably the best one they've done.
Yes, I think if you look at everything that they did since they took over, I think that if you were to take everything Darth Maul and put it into a big supercut, it makes the best movie that they have.
Yeah.
And there's also like, obviously they're doing the Bad Batch right now, which is really fucking good. I don't know if you've seen it. It's amazing. It's awesome. I hope that they do a Son of Dathomir kind of series like that, where it just follows Darth Maul and what happened between him being captured by Sidious and him reappearing on Mandalore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Because there's some crazy shit in the Clone Wars. I highly recommend.
All right, I'll check out that video. I need to go to bed though.
Yeah, I got passed the fuck out too. I just get talking on Star Wars. I'm that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Actually, one last thing. I was thinking that after my campaign, I try and make some kind of Star Wars D&D like hybrid thing that we could use D&D rules more so, because I don't like the Star Wars role-playing game that they made because it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But maybe if we could make some kind of D&D rule or something that we could convert shit from D&D very easily into the Star Wars world. I think that would be one, really neat, and two, I think I could do a really good job of fucking world building, because that fucking world, I know it like the fucking back of my hand. Excuse me for all the F-bombs. Sorry, Craig.
Cool. You just probably replace a lot of names in D&D and just put instead of a longsword, just put like a repeating rifle or repeating laser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that would be the weirdest thing about it, is it's like something common in D&D, a melee weapon, is kind of rare in Star Wars. So everyone would kind of be more like...
And technically, if you get hit with a blaster, it's more like fire damage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's more fire damage, and I would say you'd pretty much...
Lightsabers kind of also fire damage.
Yeah, the lightsabers fire damage. And then there's obviously... I think the damage types would be narrowed down. I actually, a while ago, was making some kind of D&D role-playing game, but Star Wars role-playing game that was heavily based off of D&D shit. But I fucking...
Psychic damage could still be psychic damage. I mean, ice damage could still be ice damage, or cold damage would still be cold damage, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot more force damage.
Yeah. Force damage would be force damage, yeah.
Force damage would be force damage. Satisfying.
Yeah. There's a lot of routes to go with. I just feel like necrotic damage wouldn't really exist, except for really dark side abilities.
Yeah.
Would do it. And then also healing spells that they wouldn't really exist either, except for high level light side abilities. And other than it would just be a med pack is way more common than not, And then there'd have to be some way to determine force sensitivity. If you wanted to be a force user, you'd have to...
You could also... What would be interesting with that is, if you wanted to be, if instead of being, a healer, a cleric, you would just be, a medical droid.
Yeah. And that's another thing. You could just be a droid. That'd be cool. And
I think I want to play a droid.
Yeah.
Roger.
What I think what I think would be a lot of fun is, allowing dismemberment often. If while you're fighting, if you get dismembered, that would suck. Yeah, but it's Star Wars. Go and get a cybernetic. It's gonna be better. Hell, you might get into a situation where guys I don't want this arm anymore, and cut it off. Let's get a fucking new one.
Or just downtime. I'm gonna go get surgery and get your arm removed and cybernetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And replace with a fucking hacking scomp.
If you had a character that started out with a prosthetic limb and then just upgrades it gradually throughout the campaign.
Yeah, like a prosthetic hand, like Anakin and Luke have. The one that just does the basic functions of a hand. Or in the Bad Batch, one of the clones, backstory is convoluted. He was in a bomb, and then the bad guys took him and started using him as counterintelligence. Whenever the good guys found him again, the clones found him again, that he had been so fucked up with all these cybernetics that the separatists had used on him, that he was more machine than human, so they gave him they gave him like an attachment for his missing arm that was just like R2D2's little thing that he would plug into computers with and hack shit with. So he could hack shit that way.
Yeah.
I think also it'd be neat too if you had like you think of like the rules for sea travel, but it's like you have the rules for like space travel, obviously. But then it's like your party has a ship. It's like one character is specialized as a pilot.
Yeah, that would be
and then you all have different duties on the ship something along
That'd
those
be
lines.
fun.
It'd be really cool to do something like that, and like you could even make it to where like you have different experience bars, kind of, if that makes sense. Like you would have your player experience bar, then your flight experience bar, because in flight one person would be the pilot, one person maybe be a gunner, one person could be like a co-pilot or whatever. And they
you would have somebody that's like a pro hacker or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you land on Bespin, he has to hack into the shit,
Yeah. And then like
Lots of possibilities.
Star Wars, I just love the fucking universe. And that's why I would love to do something like that with like a conversion, because I just don't like I've looked at the role-playing game for Star Wars and it sucks.
Thinky doo doo.
It's poo-poos.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to bed. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure
I'm going
and an
to
honor.
bed too.
All right. See you guys. Is it Wednesday for your campaign, Richard, or just next weekend?
No, I don't think I think we're stopping for a while. Tristan's got stuff that he's got going on Wednesdays, and it's already hard to get people coming in, and I'm super busy, and
understandable.
Didn't quite land as hard as we wanted it to.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It's good. Like, I'm enjoying it. It's just like not being able to get people in and stuff like that. And
yeah. All right, gentlemen.
I'll talk to you sometime, hopefully. But yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys again. Yep. You two guys too.
That's a nat 1.